Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, March 7th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. We have archives at the top of the page, eye candy at the bottom of the page, some great video of Kyle McClellan getting his warm-up in, doing his bullpen work here. He pitched the other day. I'll talk about that in a minute. We are live from Cardinal Spring Training in Jupiter. This is our final day back to St. Louis tomorrow morning, Tuesday. In the meantime, 7-2 rain, short and loss. Cardinals yesterday. I was running out of the stadium and my $100 Ray-Bans went flying off because I was trying not to get wet. Nice going, dumbass. So that's the first casualty of the trip. Jason Mott knocked around a little bit yesterday. A lot of people think that Jason needs another pitch. These guys at this level could catch up to that fastball, even though that fastball is just blistering. By the same token, it means absolutely nothing down here, because I've tried to tell people that a million times. What happens in spring training doesn't really necessarily mean anything, so don't get all excited about it. On Saturday, as we said, Kyle McClellan looked absolutely fabulous. Not that the rest of the guys did, but every once in a while you see a guy who just sort of seems more serious than the other guys. And to me, especially with what has happened to Adam Wainwright, and with a lot of the focus being on Kyle McClellan as a guy who might possibly step in and help the Cardinals in a big way this year, McClellan just looks like a man on a mission. The man walks with a purpose. Every time I see him, he's dripping wet, sweating. He's just been working out. He's just been throwing. This guy looks very, very, very serious to me, and I think that's a great thing. Trevor Miller just looked great again on Saturday. He only pitched one inning, and that's usually what he pitches during the regular season. And again, this is a guy that if you walked up and down the streets of St. Louis and said, name everybody on the team, Trevor Miller is like the guy who just flies under the radar. A lot of people don't even remember that there's a guy on the team named Trevor Miller, and yet when he gets in there, it's just lights out. The guy's amazing, and he's a nice guy too. I was talking to him the other day. There was a Marlins fan yesterday, first row, right near the dugout, and every time anything happened, when I say anything, I mean like a foul tip, this guy has a giant plastic fish on his head, and he's got a homemade sign, and he keeps holding it up as like "Go Marlins" or something. So everybody's sitting behind him. This is all you see is like, the guy is just blocking everybody's view. He doesn't care though, because he has a special relationship with the players on the team. Maybe that's why they were all completely ignoring him. On Saturday, we had a dramatic arrival of David Pratt, one of the owners of the St. Louis Cardinals. The man comes in from Singer Island, comes in by helicopter all the time, and he normally just sort of flies around, parks behind the Cardinal clubhouse, but in this particular case, apparently I'm told because of wind, he flew right over the playing surface, right over the field, right over the diamond while the Houston Astros were taking batting practice. He couldn't have been more than 70 feet off the ground, and he just sort of emerged from one side of the stadium and came over the top. I think it scared the bejesus out of all of those guys, and at the same time, I think it was sort of a, oh, the ball got away. Ah! There you go. Got myself a free baseball here. But I forgot what I was talking about. Let's just move on to the next thing. Talked with Lou Brock the other day. Just a fabulous conversation. We're playing that on the air today. By the time this airs and you see it on jcontheline.com, chances are that you can go to our archives at ktrs.com and look it up there. Conversation with Bob Simon, 60 Minutes, here doing a piece on Albert Pujols that will not air prior to the beginning of the season because he's going to be in St. Louis on opening day, and that's going to be part of the piece. So if you want to try and get on 60 Minutes, look around for correspondent Bob Simon, who is not really an aficionado when it comes to baseball. He actually doesn't even know that much about it, and he's also been traveling internationally for most of the last decade or so, and so a lot of the stuff he's hearing for the first time. So something to look forward to, though, on CBS sometime early on in the season. You'll see that piece on Albert Pujols. I had never seen 2.5 Men. I'd never seen that show. Watched it a little bit over the weekend. I got news for you. Number one, the show is filthy. Number two, it sucks. It's terrible. And Charlie Sheen, if this is what he's hanging his hat on, you got to be kidding me. So I got back to the hotel and was greeted by 23 college students in the hot tub. I'm in my swimsuit. I'm going to go down there and just relax a little bit. There was some sort of college lacrosse team in town from Atlanta, and so they took over the hot tub, and guess what? Not a good place to hang out. Also got up early yesterday morning at the hotel, had nothing to do. and had a little downtime. It was too early. It was like 5 in the morning. So I watched Marley and Me. Big mistake. Big mistake. By the way, what's up with that movie, you know? The movie covers a span of 15 years, and Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson look the same, say the same age, but the dog gets old and dies. What's up with that? So anyhow, as I said, our final day here at Cardinal Spring Training, this is it. And I would guess I would summarize things by saying it's too early to come here. Usually I come in the middle of the month, and you sort of get a little better idea of how things are progressing. And this year, the decision was made to by the radio station to come very early first week. It's just too early to see anything, you know. It's just there's that much going on that you can really get your teeth into. But it was still coming down here. Sun is shining. Temperature was about 75 to 80 every day. Had a little rain on the weekend, but didn't really bother anybody. Guys don't seem particularly talkative, and I think it's been a weird spring with Adam Wainwright going down, and Tony just seems a little bit tired out of the whole thing. So it's just one of those things that every once in a while you run into a year like that where that happens, and so that's that. But we had a good time anyhow. We'll come back to St. Louis, back in the studio on Tuesday, and later in the week, comedian Kathleen Madigan, hometown girl. And also, remember the chick who played Chloe on 24? She was also on the Larry Sanders Show, and now she has a new show on Fox. Her name is Mary Lynn Ricegub. And as soon as you see her or hear her, sort of like think about it a minute, you'll know exactly who she is. We're going to have her on later in the week also. So, that's it from Cardinal Spring Training for the final time here in Jupiter for 2011. We'll be heading back north, and then the team opens on March 31st, and we'll be doing our traditional home opener baseball show on the Big 550 KTRS in a couple of weeks, and we'll tell you all about that when we get a little bit closer to it. So that's it. Back to St. Louis, Triple C, the old knuckleballer is rounding third and heading for home. So we will see you back in St. Louis. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, March 7th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a go. Oh, normally, I just do the thing, like, see, Johnny Carson used to, that's it. And he would do a golf swing, but he didn't have a golf club in his hand, but he just went through the motion. So I was like, well, I'm a pitcher, so I will see you later, buy it, and I do this, but I never have a ball. But look at this, the guys threw me a ball, so now I can go. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.